Hey, it's Laurel, or Rel with the Dabbling Hook, or I should say future Rel with the Dabbling Hook. In this video, you're going to see close-ups of my desk. I was trying to keep up with the things I'm making and making sure I document them. And in order to do that, I was just recording at my desk. And I am not the best at, holding the camera by hand and trying to keep focus. So you'll see things that are a little wobbly, a little close up, a little out of focus. Lighting is not the greatest, so just forewarning. Completely understand if you bypass this one, if it's too much to handle, but it'll probably be this video and the next one as well, so just FYI. All right, enjoy if you keep watching, and if not, I will see you in the next one. Bye.
Hey, it's Laurel or Rel, and I'm trying really hard to record as I go because I never have time to just do the whole setup. So you are looking at a small corner of my really small working desk. You might hear the TV in the background while the minion is chillaxing. Let's see, what do we have? These are little flower sprites. Honestly, I don't even remember the name. I apologize for the light in my shadows. Flower sprites. It is a Russian channel. It's the same one I made a bunny from before. So link will be down below. But just trying to make some stuff for my spring craft fair, and I'm trying for things that I haven't had before. So these definitely qualify. So these are made with Bernat blanket. The bottom is the, what do you call it? Mystical. And then this is just regular Bernat blanket, and this is a dappled, part of a dappled cake. Hopefully the Star Trek isn't coming through, but I'll know when I'm editing and if I have to re-record this. But yeah, so I made this one with this potato gold color. I don't remember the names. And then I made one again with the mystical and more Bernat. And this white is the stash goals. And I thought I made 3. I guess I only made 2. So 2 in blanket, and then I made these 2 in demi pearl. I don't remember the colors. It's like an off-white, green, and the very bright pink. Not neon, just a really bright pink. And this one, again, in demi pearl, but the flower petal part is just another mystical in, oh, hold on. The colorway is carrot something? Cactus flower. So that one. And then I did one, pretty sure I did 2. Hang on, I might have dropped one somewhere. Nope, it's just in my mind. It's just in my mind. I only made this one. This is the Goblin colorway, and the color's not showing up correctly, at least in this lighting. But Carpe and Goblin, and this is like a mint green color. Pretty sure it's the mint. And then this blue color that I don't know what it is, but I just broke into it just to see what it would look like. Not sure I like this combination. And I put the eyes too far apart on this one. So, not a fan of that one, but we'll see. Oh, and for the tutorial, it's from a tutorial. The arms are here, and there's 1 stitch in between, and then the next one's here. And I found it a little off-center, so I started adding 2 stitches in between instead. Oh, look at my desk. This is all from me gluing on the eyes and getting glue on the on the surface and things sticking to it, so it's ruining the surface of my desk. Life of a crafter. Anyway, this is the other one I'm working on, again with the goblin. This is Baby Bear, doubled up. Oh, and the goblins are doubled up, by the way. All the parfait chunkies. And then the pins are where I will do the petal. And I plan on doing this one in either the plum color, or I might try it in the mint. Green on green. Not sure yet. Or, actually, I have a yellow that I might actually do it in. Make it look like a reverse daisy, because daisy is yellow center, white flower, I think. Anyway, that's these. And then the other things I've been working on are these bunnies. They're very similar to one I'd shown previously, but different tutorial, and they do it slightly differently, but it's very similar. But figured I'd do spring colors. Guess you could say Easter colors, but my craft fair is after Easter, so spring colors. So this is Bernat blanket. This is the frosting for the little muzzle part, yellow, and then dappled in the air. Really quick to work up. The only thing you're sewing on are the ears. And then this one in the dappled with the yellow ears. And this one in just the blue with yellow ears. So that is where we are right now. Oh, I lied. Hang on. I have a little army of chicks, and I said in previous clips that it was from Crochet Hook Co. It's Hook Crochet Co. is the account name on Instagram. But I think these are going to be my go-to chick patterns, because pretty much have it memorized and it works up really quick. And everything pretty much lines up. That's one thing I find with a lot of the patterns. I know it's my tension and whatnot, but things don't line up very well, and this one lines up pretty much exactly where it should be. So this is the mint of Parfait Chunky doubled with some petite pearl I used for the legs. I tripled it up for the feet. This one is the mint mixed with that other green color with some Bernat blanket for the legs. And we have Bernat blanket in yellow. And we have the dappled. Again, I'm going for the Easter spring colors. And then the other yellow, this one I used, I used a bit of Posh for the mouth. And then I have two blue ones with the Posh for the mouth, and then this one is the Petite Pearl. I love this color, this burnt orangey color. So yeah, that is what I've been working on. Small things I've mentioned before. Ooh, I had two. I did try to do two of each color, so it's not going to focus. Focus. Okay, it's not focusing, but anyway, two of each color for these. That's what I've been working on, and since it's not going to focus, oh, there it is, finally. Let's see. I'll see you in the next clip. Hello again. It's Monday. What date is it? The 30th. Hopefully you're not hearing chips crunching, because Minion 2 decided to eat as soon as I turned on my camera. But just a quick clip. Oh, I bet that's going to come through. Anyway, I'm not going to stop. You're going to hear chip crunching. This is Marjorie duck. It is a mod of the Mabel chicken from oak and marlow. Basically, you need the maple chicken pattern. I'm sure everybody and their mother has done this. And then on her blog, there is a free mod to add the duck. I saw somebody else do this, which is why I went searching for it. I don't remember who it was. And they did mention that the legs were, it took a minute to get to what she was trying to have you do. It took me 2 tries to figure out, oh, that's what she's trying to do. Anyway, everything is no-sew. You make the legs and then the wings, and then you crochet them as you go. The mod has the instructions, so pretty. It's an easy enough pattern, and maybe it's because it's the first time and my mind was elsewhere. It took me way longer to do it, but you know, yeah, not bad. I don't know if I would make it again, to be honest. For some reason, it just took me forever. But then, never say never. So, that is Marjorie. I think it's Marjorie Duck. Let's see, can I bring it up? Marjorie Goose, not duck. There's a little bit of eye shaping. I didn't shape mine as much as I should have, but... And then you do a little bow tie. I guess you could do whatever, but bow tie. Just some worsted weight scraps that I had. So, right, so that's Marjorie. And then the other things I had that I've done... don't mind my mess. Small desk, trying to do everything. These are the Hook Crochet Co. little chick pattern. Or is it a little duck? It's Boba the Chick, I think. That's what it's called. It's become my go-to little chick pattern. Because it's easy. Once you do it once, you kind of memorize it. So, pretty simple. I'm using some Posh. I didn't realize I'm completely out of just regular yellow type Posh, but I have all these other, it's like a highlighter color. It's blown out. This is a kind of highlighter peachy color. So I was trying to do 2 of each. I still have to do another one of this with the lighter feet. This is mushroom color, and I forget what, I think this is fudge or something. But anyway, I'm all out of this colorway. So, am I all out? Yep, I'm all out. I was just checking my stash. I have this much left of that colorway. So, it'll be used for accents or whatnot. And then I did another of Bunny. I've shown this before, but I just did another one. I'm trying to do springish colorways, so yeah, simple enough. Again, this one is all low sew, not no sew. You just have to sew on the ears, but everything else is crocheted in as you go. And you can see I'm charging $15 for that. So that is what I have done so far. I am off to a retirement gathering. And I was looking forward to it, but now my head is killing me and I don't want to go, but I said I would go, so I'm going. So on that note, Marjorie said bye, and I'll talk to you guys later. Hello again. It is my lunch hour on, what's today? Wednesday, the 1st. Ooh, April Fools. I'm so out of touch. Anyway. What have I been working on? Last night I finished this little elephant. It is a free pattern on Amigurumi Today. I get their newsletter, so there are a lot of patterns for purchase. I think I've mentioned before, but they also have some free patterns, actually a lot of free patterns that you can make from the website. You can't like cut and paste or anything like that, but it's just me trying to get the fluff off. But yeah, I've been meaning to make more elephants. I think I have 2, maybe 3 in inventory, and this one popped up, I think, last week, and I've been meaning to make it, so I finished it last night. Started Monday night, finished last night, so my nighttime projects. But anyway, on the site it is a bright pink elephant, and it's in the girl mode because it's got flowers in the hair, but I decided to not do that, just to make it more gender neutral. Even though somebody might look at the pinky yarn here. This is one of the Clarence blanket yarns. I think it's in the Dots line. Don't remember the name. And I had used this for, what did I use it for? I think I used it for the pants on a bear that I had shown before. And I thought I would have enough. I didn't, so I did the ears mostly in, I forget what color this is, I think almond, and blanket, and then I finished it in the colorway. So I did the arms and legs, and then I started on the head, and when I looked at what I had left, I'm like, ooh, will I have enough? So I paused the head about yay far, started on the body, and realized, I thought, ooh, I might make it, but then I forgot I still had to make the ears. So I knew I wouldn't have enough. I'm trying to find basically what I had left. This is what I had left. There was a little bit more, but I used it to sew things on. But I reduced basically the size of the pattern. Since it's a free pattern, the body goes up to 40 stitches, and I had started it with 40 and had to rip back. I was almost finished and ripped back because I knew I wouldn't have had enough. So I went to 36 stitches, and then the head went up to 48, and I stopped at 42. And I didn't do as many rounds as it called for up here as well. So that way I had enough, basically, to sew things on. And then knowing that I wouldn't have had enough to make the full ears, I pulled out this colorway. Almond is more of a beigey color. This one is more of a in between beige and the baby sand. It almost has like a greenish undertone to it, but a greenish beige, grayish. But yeah, so I was able to finish it. Yeah, definitely would be a nice, not palm size, but you know, more smaller hand size if I used say Parfait Chunky or something, or even the newer version of Bernat, because I used a 5.5mm hook for this, and with the newer Bernat I either use a 4.5 or 5mm depending on the colorway. Some of them are still a little thicker than others. But this is the elephant. I didn't give it any eyelashes per se, just this one line. Eyelid, I guess this is, not the eyelash, and just some eyebrows. So yeah, I quite like it. Easy enough pattern. It is a sew-on pattern. Sorry for all the shuffling. You do have to sew the head to the body, and then you have to sew the limbs on and the ears on. So it's not a no-sew. You could make it a low sew if you position the arms in a different position and crochet them in. So, because this is like on the side, you can't really crochet it in. But if you were to, you know, have the limbs hanging down, you can definitely crochet them in as you go, because the trunk is part of the head. And then the only thing you would have to do is sew on the ears. I did give her the tail. It didn't call for a tail, so that's where some of the extra yarn went. But yeah, that is the, I think it's called a little pink elephant or a baby pink elephant, but that's that. And then the other thing, don't mind this is the glue that I use, get off Amazon. If it will focus. Nope. I don't remember my settings on here and what I did. Oh, there we go. This is a glue I get off Amazon that I use for the backs of the eyes. Ooh, speaking of eyes, I decided to embroider the eyes on this one. And the color part is just some Bernat blanket yarn that I had from a previous project that I had stopped. And I just pulled it apart and separated the strands to use for the eyes. So, embroidered. And the only other thing is, I'm pretty sure I'd shown in a previous video, which I have yet to edit, I'm pretty sure, these drawstring bags that Seta did a tutorial for. I had done 2 before in the cotton from, I think, either Joann's or it's old cotton. It's the poly cotton blend that I had from a previous shrug that I was making that I'm just ripping apart and reusing the yarn. But I'm trying to use up my number 4 acrylic stash, and I decided to just make these. The green in here is some Dollar Tree yarn. Actually, I just realized I used almost all of it, and I bought it to make the underpart of the roses, and I have this much left of this one. These are 2 different greens, and I haven't finished the underpart of the roses yet, so I need to hold on to that. Sidebar. So anyway, this is Dollar Tree yarn in the bottom, and then this is some Clarence yarn I got at Michael's. It's a really thick number 4. I knitted a couple of hats out of that. And then this is Dollar Tree as well. It's the same yarn, but this pink is way thinner than the greens. But there's this one, and again, her tutorial doesn't have handles, but I add handles to those. I'm hoping these will do well at my May craft fair with, little girls who want a little bag. I was contemplating lighting the bottom, but that's going to be way too much effort and time that I don't have. So, and I doubt I'd be able to recoup the time price-wise. So, again, this is some of the leftover pink from here, mixed in with the rest of this green. And then this is some Michael's yarns, Fleck yarn that I've had for quite a while. And I think I have this much left of the purple color. I may or may not have another skein. I don't think so, but I think I have this much left of it. So, put to good use. And then this is some scraps that's left over from the last shawl that I showed. So, it's a Premier yarn that was gifted to me. So, that's all that's left of that. I think I used all of it. Pretty sure. Again, the Dollar Tree. I forget what green this color, but again, it's 2 different greens. Some more of this Michael's yarn. In this one, it's the same yarn, but I used this first, and then I didn't have enough to do all the rows here, so I interspersed it with some Dollar Tree white yarn. Can't really tell, but blended pretty well. So there's this one with just some Dollar Tree white yarn for the top, and again added the handle, and Dollar Tree yarn, all Dollar Tree yarn basically. That pink really is thinner than the green. It's thinner than all the other colors I've used so far. But yeah, this darker green is way thick. It's like a really heavy number 4 compared to this one. But so I have 6 in total now of Seta's bags with added handles. Alright, I'll see you in the next clip. Hello again. It is Wednesday the 8th of April. Just another quick clip. What I've been working on. These little cuties. This is the Baby Goblin by Madeline Mako. I bought this a little while ago and hadn't made it, and again, I don't know if I was enabled, well, not really enabled because I'd already bought the pattern, but inspired. I might have seen it, when I was watching somebody briefly. So I decided to make it because I have quite a bit of green yarn, and I was using green yarns for something else. I just realized I don't think I've shown either. I'm digressing. But anyway, baby goblin. So cute, quick to work up. I've been very slow making things lately. I'm making things, but in the process of making them, I've been very slow, I think. But that doesn't matter. Anyway, this one I made, oh, of course, my battery's flashing now. Let's see how far we get. This one is in the Dabbled yarn. I don't remember the colorway. I started on the outside because the inside had the lightest of the colors, I think. Yeah. So, yeah, it's pretty quick. You make all the bits. You make the ears, you make the arms. If you hear anything, there's life noises and Father Minion's being a goofball, trying to be quiet. Anyway, as I was saying when I got cut off, you make all the bits, arms, ears, horns, and then the body is worked from, you know, you make one leg, then the next, and you attach, blah, 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 you know the drill. So the legs and the body, one piece, and then you crochet the arms in, and you have to sew the ears and the horns on. And these are crocheted in as you go. And then this you have to embroider on. If you wish, you don't have to. And then put on the mouth, and then you have to stitch on the tooth, which I do in worsted weight yarn. So yeah, that's that. That's that. And it's cold, and I've got my Williston shawl, the very first shawl that I made from a pattern, over my legs because we're having absolute crazy weather where yesterday it was full on snowing while I was at work, and it snowed when I left for work. By the time I left to come home, most of it had melted, but it looked like we were going to have a blizzard. So anyway, so that's number one in the Dabbled. It's like a modelly light green color. And then I had some mystical, so I made another one, except I inverted the little kind of bauble heart motif. For this one, there's a slight difference in size. Of course, the mystical is thinner. This is Dollar Tree yarn in that emerald green, very saturated, lovely. And this is just some, I have a small leftover ball of Posh. If you hear creaking, my headphones are around my neck, so every time I move it creaks. So this is some leftover Posh from when Joanne was closing, and so it's much thicker, and I inverted it just to see how it would look. So that's how the pattern is with the heart shape, and I did I guess an upside down heart. That. Both of these I gave glitter back eyes. Glitter back eyes. This one I gave, this is another dappled cake that I have this much of. I keep using it for, you know, little embellishments and such. So I did the horns in that. I find the horns to be a bit big based on looking at the picture in the pattern. So I think I modified the last two that I made, but yeah, it seems a little big, but I'm going with it because I tend to change things around. This one I gave eyelashes. This one I did not. So that's these two. And this pattern is so cute, and it works up relatively quickly that I made another one. Now, this is Goblin from Parfait Chunky. I love this colorway, and I want to use it with everything, but I can't think of what to make with it. But I decided, why not? So this is doubled. I love the feel of it doubled. Absolutely love the feel of it doubled. And then this is some mystical in whatever the orange color is. I have a small cake again that I keep using as you know, for embellishments and small things that I need little bits for. So, and this one, the pattern just has the regular black eyes, so I tried this one with the black eyes. And this is the Stash Goals yarn. I used I think a 4mm hook, try to get it a little smaller, but the size difference is definitely noticeable. Let's see, what did I do with it? Hang on, I used something and I used something. I reached for something and it went flying, but oops. You can see, I don't know if it's really visible. Did I mention I have a really small desk and it's full of yarn stuff? Anyway, I can't get it up, but I can't get it to stand up. But there's definitely smaller, I guess this would be large, medium, small. But there's definitely a small difference in each of the sizes. But I love the feel. I love the feel of the Parfait Chunky doubled. I don't like working with it, even though the colors are gorgeous. But when I double it, I like it. So, I like this so much that I made 3, and today I completed a 4th. This one is way bigger because, oh, looks a little, just didn't realize it's a little lopsided. I think it's because the leg is a little popped out, but I'll fix that somehow. But I made that one. I gave this one a 25mm eye, and this is one of the hand-painted ones that I did. And this again is some Dollar Tree yarn, I think. No, this is some Parfait Chunky in the color Teddy Bear, I believe. I think, yep. Just did that. And the horns is Bernat Blanket. It's a variegated skein, but it's that old formula that's plumper. Hopefully I didn't show you anything up there that shouldn't. The colorway is Weathered Wood. It's this. So I pulled it out of my stash and I've been meaning to use it with something and I haven't, so I just used this to see how it would work out for the horns instead of just plain white. So highly recommend this pattern, and I think her patterns, this is in her like dollar and change shop that she has it in. Since I was on a green kick and a monster kick, goblin monster, this one I saw on, I think, Enchanted Skeins podcast, somebody again, but and I had already bought the pattern, but when I saw it I'm like, oh, I haven't made it yet, as we all do with all the patterns that we buy. So I decided to keep going with the mystical that I had out, and I made the little monster, or it's just called Monster Friend, I think. So a little bit of sewing. I think it's low sew. The head and the legs, legs and body, all one piece. You have to surface on the mouth. You do have to sew on the arms. You tie on the ears. You can, she says optional, you can sew it on too. I just tie it on as well. And then you have to sew on the horns. Again, I used the Stash Goals for that. But it came out, you know, hand size. And this is another one of my hand-painted eyes. It's kind of, it's got a little green and blue variegation in there, so I thought it went perfect with that. Or purple, I guess. Purple and green variegation. With that, and I wanted to do another one since this one came out smaller than I thought it was going to come out. So I used the green again, and this is the green I didn't mention. It's the old Bernat formula. It's very spongy and thick. So I made another one, and you can see the difference. It's quite a difference. Sorry about the angle, but this is the only time I get to record. So I made another one, another hand-painted eyes, if it'll focus. There you go. It's goldy, sparkly. It's not showing up well on camera, but it's quite pretty. And you're hearing life noises in the background, but there's that. There is a bit of like pinky fleck in here, so I used that other dappled cake to do the horns. And I just added a little bit of embellishment because one of the tester patterns in the tester finished items in the pattern pictures, I think it's Cottontail Crafts who did that. She had a little embellishment on there. I'm like, why not? So there's that. I may do another one of these, maybe not, but we'll see. And since I'm on the green kick, I figured, don't mind my shaky camera job. I don't think I have any dragons. I know last fall, winter craft season, I sold quite a few of these, and I may have like 1 or 2 left in my stash. I'm not sure, but I figured I'd just make it. This is called the Baby Dragon. Again, it's one that I've done many times before. I first found it on a YouTube tutorial. I forget the maker's name, but the pattern is now for sale on Etsy instead. It used to be a tutorial that's no longer available. But when I first did it, I was doing so many of them, I jotted down the patterns, like quickly jotted down, and I took a picture of it. That's kind of what I have as my backup. But it's easy enough to make once you get going. This is the Dollar Tree Emerald, my green color, and the Hibiscus, the bright pink color, doubled. I just wanted to see how they would look together. Almost gives like a Christmassy vibe to it, but it's bright pink instead of red. But that emerald green definitely gives it a Christmas vibe. It's being blown out by this late night light. But yeah. And the wings are not doubled, it's just the emerald green. And oops, I do her, she's 2 wing options. I do one of them, and then for the tail, I do not follow her tail. I just, I use the wings from, or the tail feathers, tail wings, from another pattern where you just surface it on instead. Less sewing that way. So the only thing you have to sew on are the wings. It's so cute. It's so cute. Alright, so that's part of the green. And then again, I said I like the Parfait Chunky doubled. So I doubled it to make one of these. And this is the Dollar Tree Hibiscus doubled for the wings and the tail feathers. So you can see, even though I doubled the Dollar Tree, it's still way smaller than the Parfait Chunky. Doubled. This is the mint colorway, I think, in Parfait Chunky. Doubled with just the goblin, not doubled for the wings. So cute. So cute. I was trying for spring colors, but I didn't have anything readily available, and I wasn't going to go through my stash at the moment, so. And then this is, again, the goblin with the mint with the goblin. And then I really like this combo, the goblin with the hibiscus. So that's where we are. Oh, I make my own turtle pattern, but I was watching somebody on YouTube and she had the turtle in an egg, and I'm like, let me see how she makes her turtle, see if it's the way I do mine. She does hers from bottom up. Not a fan. So I'll just stick to mine. And I tacked the head, which makes it topple over. Before I tacked it, the head was kind of way too low for me, so I wanted it to be up a little. Basically, I want it to be like that. But because I tacked it, I think the head is a little too heavy. So it's got his butt in the air instead. So if you zhuzh it, it will end up standing, but yeah. Usually what I do to combat the head flopping over is I would do the front bobble legs a little bigger than the back ones, so it's more like this, and that way it keeps upright, but I forgot about that, so that's what I got. All right, I will talk to you guys later.